6:47, time for the morning rush. A police officer and an Albuquerque resident have been injured after an exchange of gunfire between officers and an armed suspect. Albuquerque police say that the officers shot and killed the suspect early this morning at the DeSoto Morningside apartment complex on Montgomery. In the exchange of gunfire, an officer and the residents of the complex were hurt. Both are expected to be okay.
This morning, New Mexico's Chief Justice is asking lawmakers for millions of dollars in funding to combat crime. Yesterday, Chief Justice Kevin Thompson gave his State of the Judiciary address. The courts are asking for $14 million to increase pay for employees and for a one-time allocation of $25 million to improve security at the courthouses.
We are learning more details in a police shooting in Gallup that left one man dead. According to New Mexico State Police, Gallup police found 34-year-old Frankie Davis, who was armed with a shotgun. Officers told Davis to lower the weapon, but at some point he pointed the weapon at officers. Police then fired at and hit Davis at least once. He later died at the hospital. Liz.
Temperatures are going to be warming up starting today and lasting through the weekend. We're expected to be reaching the mid to upper 50s here in central New Mexico. Back to you.
New Mexico's attorney is speaking on a federal judge's decision to block President Trump's executive order to end birthright citizenship. New Mexico Attorney General Raul Torres said, quote, "The court has clearly signaled that President Trump violated the law by attempting to redefine American citizenship," end quote.
Meanwhile, Bernalillo County law enforcement leaders are saying that they will not target people because of their residency status. Bernalillo County District Attorney Sam Bregman says his office will continue to prosecute criminals in the county to the fullest extent of the law. However, they will not specifically seek out illegal immigrants and will not refer them to ICE for deportation if they are arrested.
A lawsuit against a Cibola High School teacher is moving forward this morning following a rule from the New Mexico Supreme Court. Back in 2018, a Native American student sued APS and a teacher who allegedly called them a, quote, bloody Indian. That case was dismissed by the district court, but with yesterday's ruling, they now have legal standing. Liz.
Snow chances begin for New Mexico starting on Saturday in the northern mountains and then expanding to nearly the entire state through the middle of next week. David?
Organizers say that the impact of this year's Isleta New Mexico Bowl was felt well beyond the stadium. New Mexico Bowl organizers say that this year's crowd was one of the largest at the stadium with almost 23,000 attendees. Visit Albuquerque says that the game brought in around $3.2 million to the city in direct visitor spending.
Owners of certain buildings in downtown Albuquerque are now required to pay registration fees for properties left vacant for 9 months or more. Mayor Keller signed the ordinance yesterday, saying it's time owners do a better job maintaining the building. The city says it will reinvest the registration fees in downtown.
An Albuquerque woman will be competing in Jeopardy's Tournament of Champions next week. Wikai Ranilla won the show 3 times, most previously last year, taking home a total of over $35,000. You can tune in to KRQE next week to see if she will beat out the competition and prove she's a trivia master. Liz.
Let's take a look at traffic. All maps are clear with no major accidents or slowdowns. Here is a look at the Big Eye.
The list of finalists for the country's most prestigious science competition includes an Albuquerque student. Albuquerque Academy's Aquilan Sankaran is one of 40 students in America selected as a finalist in this year's Regeneron Science Talent Search. Sankaran's physics project investigates pilot wave dynamics.
It is time now for the 5 facts.
At number 5, organizers say that the impact of this year's Isleta New Mexico Bowl was felt well beyond the stadium. The weekend after Christmas, University Stadium hosted TCU and University of Louisiana at Lafayette. New Mexico Bowl organizers say that this year's crowd had almost 23,000 attendees. Visit Albuquerque says the game brought in around $3.2 million to the city in direct visitor spending. New Mexico Bowl says 1.2 million people tuned in to watch the game on TV in 2023, and viewership was up 44% last year.
At number 4, New Mexico's Chief Justice is asking lawmakers for millions of dollars in funding to combat crime. The courts are asking for $14 million to increase pay for employees like court clerks. Chief Justice Thompson says competitive pay is essential for retention and reflects fairness in New Mexico government. The courts are asking for a one-time allocation of $25 million to improve security at the courthouses over the course of 6 years, and another $40 million for a new speech-to-text system to provide real-time transcripts of hearings and trials, saying it will help judges get through cases more efficiently.
And at number 3, we have warmer weather starting this afternoon that will be lasting all the way through the weekend. However, the calm day we're expecting today is going to be ending tomorrow as our next winter storm moves into the state, bringing snowfall Saturday all the way through next Thursday.
And number 2, Bernalillo County law enforcement leaders are saying they will not target people because of their residency status. Bernalillo County District Attorney Sam Bregman says his office will continue to prosecute criminals regardless if they're an American citizen or not. However, they will not specifically seek out illegal immigrants. Bregman says he's concerned that the executive orders will affect immigrants' reporting of crimes they see, adding they rely on witness testimony on a number of cases each year. Bregman says his office will not refer illegal immigrants to ICE for deportation if they're arrested.
And at number 1, a police officer and an Albuquerque resident are both injured. This came after an exchange of gunfire between officers and an armed suspect. Now, this took place this morning at the DeSoto Morningside apartment complex on Montgomery. That is where Albuquerque Police Chief Harold Medina says officers shot and killed the suspect earlier this morning. Now, in the exchange of gunfire, an officer was shot in the leg and a resident of the complex was injured. Police say that both the officer and the other person are expected to be okay.